Black Adam gets its director, we have Joker updates, and it's your favorite kind of day because it's a MOXY kind of day. A MOXY kind of day.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk, we talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's DC Movie News.
Put it in if you're going to laugh at me, at least put it in. And for those iTunes listeners, I meant his hand. With my hand.
I just pictured this and going... That's the noise thing.
Okay, so a little behind the scenes. Before, when I was introducing the MOXY kind of day, Mike did this little dance.
I did this dance.
And Rox is wearing a shirt that makes it so she cannot do that dance today. So, yeah, there we go. All right, welcome back to DC Movie News, guys. I am Roxy Striar because Jonny LoQuasto is in Florida. You guys know he's working for the WWE now, being a superstar.
Getting us all decked out in super suits and stuff. Did you see him all decked out, that handsome SOB?
I've
it's
seen
the most recent one.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, they gave him like...
Maybe Ryan in the booth will pull it up for us.
They pulled up new suits. I think they took him shopping or something, he said, or he's all decked out in a nice suit.
I want to see that,
Yeah.
But I am keeping in touch with him, and he is doing incredibly well. Adam Gertler is somewhere where we're not quite sure.
I think San Diego.
Oh.
Not Comic-Con related. I think he's maybe doghousing it.
It would be a little early to be there for Comic-Con. You think he's just going to stay the whole time?
I think badges started shipping today.
Where's mine?
Started shipping. So
I ship my pants. I ship my pants wherever I want. You've never seen that commercial? Thank you so much, Ryan.
What?
And of course, the killer himself, KO, Mike Kalinowski, in the studio today.
Double guns.
Didn't look as cool as I think it does. This one.
That's my guns. I got guns out.
What's the noise you're making?
I got all toys. I haven't been here in so long. I've got a plethora of noises saved up.
I feel like it's...
It's a machine gun.
Yeah, but that's what you just did, right?
No, it's handguns. I had two double handguns.
When you did the... Oh. Well, you got to specify what kind of guns you have, I guess. That's the kind of culture we're in 2019. All right, we got a lot of stuff going on today.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Yeah. Well, why are you surprised?
I'm here, and it's usually a slow week when I show up. I feel bad. I haven't been here in so long, but it's just...
Are you going to be here next week?
It's a Friday? I know. I should be.
Are you guys as flattered?
I'm just in rehearsal for a new show at one of the companies I work for. So we're just kind of... My schedule's been all over the place.
What's your role?
I can't say. It's a secret.
Well, yeah, but...
I signed NDAs. NDAs.
He can't even talk about it, guys. Just so everybody knows, in case you want to join the conversation live, we are live on Popcorn Talks YouTube every single Friday. And this is for you too, Mike, so you know where we are and when we are. Friday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. In the Popcorn Talk YouTube, you guys can join the chat. I'm looking at it right now.
Look at him, a handsome SOB.
Oh, look at Jonny. Yeah, see, this is why you got to pop over from iTunes to YouTube to make sure you can see Johnny's very, very...
so dapper.
Dapper. That's the perfect word.
And he doesn't look like a jerk.
Look.
Sometimes when guys get suits and they get jobs like that, they get that smug, like... Johnny's like humble. Look at him. He screams humble to me, Johnny. And he is.
Yeah,
he's one of the most humble guys I've ever known.
He's the absolute best. What, do you like him or something? You do a show with him for 4 years?
Maybe I like him. Maybe I do like him. So?
What about it?
So a guy can like another guy, so?
Speaking of guys.
Yep.
Great segue.
I'm king of segs.
Into the fact that you can't abbreviate segue.
Yeah, I can. I'm the king of segs.
All right, everybody at home, I want you guys to, from now on, only refer to Mike as king of segs. Let's see how he likes that in a week from now. King of Segs. Queen of Segs wants to tell you guys that we're talking about Black Adam right now because Black Adam got its director. There's a lot of Black Adam talk this week about when the movie's coming out, who's directing it, and also images of Black Adam, what he will ultimately possibly look like.
Fan art? Like speculations?
Mm-hmm. Okay. But really good stuff going on.
Yeah, it's a lot of Black Adam talk, and I'm going to say this because... We feel like we've been talking about Black Adam for years. We feel like we were talking about Shazam for years. We always thought it was not going to happen. Shazam happened.
That was the Swerve movie.
And it was a great film.
Swerve McGurv.
And so Black Adam, it's going. It's going to happen. I'm not going to doubt it.
And we've got our director. Okay, so full disclosure.
Full disclosure on this little snippet.
He is a Spanish director. So we have decided collectively, Ryan, Mike, and myself, that his first name is pronounced Juame. Colette Sarah.
Yes, because of the J being silent.
But
we could be completely wrong. We looked up the YouTube rabbit hole of people trying to pronounce it, and we decided not to go with any of those.
He's somebody who's worked on a ton of movies so far, but I haven't heard anybody. This happens with directors sometimes, where you don't know.
Because
just how, so we're going to call him that, and you guys can let us know if we're butchering it, and then we apologize to Juan.
Yeah.
Or however
you at the top of this can give us a topic to clear this up. You said a Spanish director. And I always think of the term as a Latina director, but now there's a term going around, Latinx. And I'm wondering if you guys could explain what this is, because I do not know what this is.
Tell you.
Thank you, please. I don't know what it is.
I'm pretty sure, and I actually think Ryan might be the one who taught me this, where Latina is a woman.
Okay.
Latino, more about a man.
Okay.
And Latinx is everybody in the Latin American.
So then wasn't it always, I always thought Latin.
In the Latin culture.
But
Ryan,
said,
do you know if that's accurate?
Yeah, that's exactly Ryan in the booth, you guys. That's exactly right. And I think that actually was on a DC movie episode about a month and a half ago.
So did Latinx replace Latin? You said he's a Latin filmmaker?
Right. I think it's just a way to describe the entire culture when you're referring to...
But Latin doesn't describe the entire culture.
Correct.
Okay. Because I always saw this with the X in the end, and I was like, I didn't know what this was.
Well, now
I do.
Now you know.
Yeah, I didn't want to be ignorant, and now I do.
All right, so he had, and anybody who
Bad
doesn't
segue,
know his
I'm
work,
sorry.
that's okay. He worked on The Shallows. He directed Unknown. He directed Orphan.
I think The Commuter.
Produced Run All Night. Is that a movie that you really like? He EP'd The Commuter.
Commuter. That was
I can see if he directed it also. Oh, he did direct it
it was
as well.
Liam Neeson. Yeah, it was really it was a solid little film.
He's worked with Liam Neeson quite a
What's
few
interesting
times,
about him is he was on WB's radar because he was attached for Suicide Squad too.
Yeah,
he was
we
like one
had
of the
that for a
first
hot
names.
second,
Yeah,
and then that went away.
So obviously he did something right with the WB people.
Yeah, I'm interested to see.
He booked the room, as they say in the industry. He booked the room. Went in probably for a pitch, didn't get it, but they're like, hey, we like this guy.
But they liked him.
Let's keep him in the.
How many times have you booked a room?
I would like to think that I do that quite often.
Yeah.
Because if I don't book a show, I usually go into that office several times to audition. And as an actor, you kind of have to tell yourself, like, well, they like me. They keep bringing me back. So eventually I'll get that show.
All right, so we're getting comments in the chat right now. Somebody whose name I don't know because it's a bunch of symbols says, Huame is how May. It's like
How May?
It's like Jaime. Jaime is what they're
Well,
saying.
I can see it because maybe the J-A-U and then the M-E is a Jaime. Jaime? Well,
Jaime.
Maybe
All right. Well,
we'll meet him.
I don't
maybe.
know how you know that, but maybe you're right. We'll just call him
Mr. Sarah.
Mr. Colette Sarah.
Mr.
For
Sarah.
Now. Yeah. So, does this make you more excited about Black Adam? Just hearing more news come out about it.
You know, Rox, it's the same. I kind of liken it to Shazam. Like, I was not interested to seeing Shazam. Like, we talked about this. Like, Shazam was never on my radar. It was never a go-see movie for me. And I loved it. So.
But you were excited by the marketing for Shazam.
Yeah,
the whole time.
It was again, but it was never. I was incredibly pleasantly surprised and enjoyed.
After seeing the movie?
After seeing the movie.
Okay.
So for Black Adam, I think it's tonally so different. I mean, from Shazam, but they set up Black Adam in Shazam. They did the whole history of the power, and they talk about the person that had it, and he had the little hood on in that one scene. So it was like that was Black Adam. So yeah, I'm excited.
How do you feel about the fact that it's expected to release around spring 2021?
So a little less than 2 years. Okay. Yeah, no worries. I mean,
It's a little far.
It's a little far for you, Ryan?
That's a little far.
Why
for
do you
me.
say that?
I mean, we just got Shazam, and I'm riding the high from that movie. I want this movie sooner rather than later. And if we got a bunch of other DC movies like Birds of Prey and the Batman, like at this rate, the Batman's coming out before this movie. I think. I really want this movie to come sooner rather than later. I was actually hoping that David F. Sandberg was going to do Black Adam, but now that they're getting another director, I wonder what this has to do with Shazam 2.
Well, I would think Sandberg's full on Shazam 2 right now.
Yeah.
I think he's probably.
But you don't think we're going to see Black Adam before we see Shazam 2?
I think we'll see Shazam. Well, yeah, I think we will see Black Adam for Shazam 2. I saw David Sandberg on the street the other day, and I didn't say anything to him.
You saw
he was coming out of
Christopher Nolan and David Sandberg within the same week of each other?
David Sandberg, I was driving. There's this. It's a horror shop on Magnolia Boulevard here in Burbank. Dark something. It's like this really kind of horror collectible place, and he was coming out of it with his wife, the actress in the film, and another couple. But I was driving, And I almost did the drive-by like, I love Shazam! But I didn't. And I didn't want to stop my car and get out. But
You could have.
I could have,
Stopped
but
to get out. I'm sure he actually doesn't get as much attention as you would
like
think.
when I
from
saw
somebody-
Christopher Nolan, he had a posse around
Yeah,
him.
of
They were
course
coming
he
out
did.
of
Christopher
the
Nolan.
the City Walk IMAX, and he had a posse around him.
Yeah.
But Sandberg was just by himself. I mean, I had brunch next to him at Comic-Con last year, and I didn't say anything, and I should have. I get weird about
I know.
celebrities. I get very weird. Like, I wish I didn't, but you never know how they are. You never know how they are.
But it is interesting that, Ryan, you said that this is too far out because we also know that the second Aquaman is happening 4 years after
That's
the
a
first
while after
Aquaman.
the first one, yeah.
So that seems to be what DC is doing. And also, just so anybody who doesn't know, Ryan Nilsson in the booth, he is our producer for the last few months, and we're so excited to have him on board. You're going to be hearing his name and his voice a lot
there.
more often. He is a DC lover, expert, and was a fan of the show before
Fan
he
of the
even
show,
came
fan
on.
of the
so
show of
we
us.
love
Yeah,
having
and-
Ryan with us. But Ryan, does it strike you as different that Black Adam is coming later as opposed to Aquaman having the second one be so much later, or is it the same kind of thing for you?
I think first and foremost, I'm just happy we're getting the movie because this movie has been in talks for so long, even before Shazam and The Rock just getting involved in that universe. So I'm just happy The Rock is in the DC universe officially. Like, it is happening. It does strike me a little differently in that, I mean, it's been the same with this whole series. We thought we were going to get Man of Steel 2. We ended up not getting that. We thought we were going to get just an immediate Batman, a Wonder Woman 2, and the sequels are going to take longer. I think, just comparison with Marvel, they take a lot longer to get a sequel out.
It's funny you say that. Today was the day we were supposed to have Justice League 2 on that big slate of that when it was Green Lantern and Cyborg. Today was the release date of Justice League 2. We've only had 2 more movies, Cyborg and Green Lantern, out of that entire 10-film slate. But it was funny looking back at that slate. Shazam hit the day it was supposed to.
Wow!
Of all those films,
of all the movies that we thought, that's funny.
Shazam,
You're talking about the
Shazam.
initial slate.
The initial
that
was 10 films.
5 years ago, maybe.
Yeah. And it was like Flash, Justice League 1,
was 2 a year,
2,
basically.
Green Lantern, Cyborg were the last 2. Remember we thought it was like 2020.
2020,
We were
yeah.
Green Lantern. Oh, that's so far away.
Yeah.
I think it was like 2015 almost. They were.
Maybe it
that's when
was
they came out.
2015.
But Shazam, April of 2019 was the date on that. I was like, they hit it. They knew what they were doing. So maybe with Black Adam, it's like Ryan, talking to you, said I think they're taking their time with these films and they're not trying to rush or hit dates. Which we just talked about that, and Marvel has felt that a little bit. Like they've had to shift dates when they do those big here's our next slate for 10 films, and they don't fall. And Humans never happened, and I think this is smart, and I think they're.
Take your time, give us good
Yeah,
movies.
they're not like, hey, we're not going to promise anything. We're going to get it right and put it out there.
Great. Yeah, I'm happy we're getting it, and at the end of the day, that's what's most important. I'm happy we're getting it.
I agree. Let's look at what
he
might actually look like. I saw this on Heroic Hollywood, but it was on Brian Zapp's Instagram. There was
Zaps.
Well, his name's Brian.
I'm
you can't just give somebody a nickname.
I'm giving
You can't
nicknames
just-
all day today.
can't
I'm
just
the king of
nickname-
segs.
You don't know. The king of segs is the worst I've ever heard.
shut
It
your
was on
mouth.
Brian Zapp's Instagram. He did a slide, and it said underneath it, kneel before Black Adam, swipe at The Rock. Kwame Colette Sarah will be the director of the film. So hyped for this project. And then it's an image of him in a couple of different looks.
We talk about The Rock, and we've had different discussions where I feel he's more of a celebrity and a personality as opposed to an actor. But watching his early stuff, I think I would love to see this movie really challenge him as an actor and really not rely on the personality of The Rock and really bring the...
Do you smell?
Yeah, I get that.
That
but
a challenge is
there's talk
coming.
about how the power was taken from him, and I'd really like to see some great emotionality from him in this film. I think it could be a chance to do that instead of just playing it hey, we've got The Rock, let's just go bombastic and be big and this and that. Let's
Ready for the Queen of Segways?
Yeah.
The Queen of Segs. So you want to see something different?
I do.
Well, Brian Tyree Henry reveals how the Joker movie is different.
I'm the king of seg because I gave you that segue.
No, you didn't.
I set up talk about personality and did something different and gave you the segue.
I gave the segue.
Give you the segue.
Ryan, who gave the segue?
That was Roxy.
Get the hell out of my office. Get out of my office.
Baby. All right, so this is what he said. He said, I think it's going to be very different because it really goes into just the origin story. Villains are never born that way. They're made. There's something that happens in their lives that they give up their faith in humanity. They see the flaws of humanity and mankind and feel like they must correct it. And what happened with the Joker is you start to see how he really was a happy person. He really was trying to find his hope in humanity until it broke him down and he just had to give up and reshape it. What does that make you feel off the bat, Mikey Christmas?
Some villains, and again, this could change my perception, but some villains for me, when you find out their backstory, your heart breaks. No, like I look at Mr. Freeze and what the animated series did with him. One of the greatest cartoon episodes of all time called Heart of Ice.
His backstory totally makes you feel
Clayface, when you find out his story of the failed actor, and again, that's a testament to the Batman the Animated Series that did all this for these villains. But the Joker is one, and they never did a Joker origin on that show. They didn't need to. And I remember watching The Dark Knight when he was like, "You want to know how I got these scars?" I'm like, "Oh, here we go." But then it did it. I was like, "Oh my gosh." So for this, I'm going in with an open mind. And again, it's not the Joker that's going to be for the rest of the show, so we don't need to, I'm not a Joker fan. We know this. So I'm going in, I will probably be blown away by this. Like I saw the trailer again recently and I went to the film theater the other day, and it just looks so good.
Yeah, it does.
It looks so good. So I'm going in open-minded. I'm open-minded.
What about this part of his quote? He said, also there's going to be a connection made about a boy and his mother. You want me to keep going, or you want to talk?
I think I know what you're talking about. It's Bruce Wayne.
But I'm going to keep going with the quote. Okay?
I cut you off a lot, and people are get on my case for this. I'm going to sure get comments.
Should. Booyakasha. Name that show.
Booyakasha? It's a show?
The Ali G Show. Thank you, Ryan. He says that is another thing that you're going to see, that he was capable of love at some point, but at the end of the day, I think it's all about how he was made that way, how he started, how he didn't start being that kind of person.
Again,
you're nervous?
No, I'm not nervous at all because I have no. I'm
nervous.
This is the only film that I'm going in like completely open-minded on. I try to do it with all the films I go see, but this one, like, I don't want to get caught up in anything. I know there was that rumor a little while ago about people that they read the script and this and that. I'm not going to do it. I think the script is out there. I'm not going to look for it. I just want to go in blind to it.
Let's go to the chat for a second because interesting comments in here.
Let's go.
The Stegman says, this Joker isn't main Joker.
Right.
So does that make you feel a little
That's why I'm like, if he shows up in the Reeves Batman film, it's not going to be the same guy. So
Dixon Sider says, I trust Todd Phillips. He's a very good director. So if you trust the people working on a project,
that's what I'm saying.
It can help
everything
you.
about this film that we've seen looks great.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Seattle says Elseworld. So yes, all of that plays into the fact that I think we're okay with it.
If it's bad, then we're all going to be like, well, this is ridiculous. This is a waste of time. I mean, I kind of look at it like Solo. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. So we're all kind of like, there was no need for it. But if it was awesome, people were like, let's see another one.
Yeah.
So this, if it's bad, everyone's going to be like, well, why did you guys do this? But if it's great, everyone's going to be like, hell, that's great. Yes, please.
Let's keep talking about Joker things because this is something that I stumbled upon.
Do we need to address this?
I want to tell you something, Mike. Am
I going to get upset?
As I'm sitting,
my girlfriend does this. She goes, Mike, I want to talk to you about something. And am I going to get upset? And she's like, you might get upset. And I have to realize, I'm going to be calm.
You might get upset.
I love you.
So let me be honest with you.
Roxy, I love you. So
I love you too, Mikey. I'm going to be honest with you, though.
Oh, here we go.
I did this despite knowing how you would react.
Oh, I thought you said you were going to do this. I did this despite you, Mike.
No. So here's what happened. Last night, I'm sitting on my computer. I'm working on this rundown. Yes, on my bed. I do everything in my bed. I read my reviews from my bed. I do my makeup on my bed. I drink my tea. I eat my food. I do everything in my bed.
Your bed must stink.
I wash my sheets every 4 days because of how often I use my bed. It's insane. The whole process is wild. So anyway, I'm in my bed and I'm working on this.
Okay.
And I was looking up Joker
You're working
stuff,
on the
and
rundown.
working on the rundown, and I stumbled upon this article from MovieWeb that says Macaulay Culkin as Joker in the Batman. Some fans really want it. This is an article by Jeremy Dick, but I did see it online also, and there has been a lot of talk about people wanting this. Now, I thought to myself when I was about to add this, it's not news. And it's not even really rumor. It's fan request. So Mike's going to be pissed that I put this in. But I kind of want to.
I like how you know me.
I knew it so bad. But
Hey, Mikey's going to be so pissed that I'm going to type on my computer and I'm going to put it in.
I didn't do it because of
Piss
that,
him
but
off.
I think it's an interesting conversation.
Why?
Because
It's fan speculation that we do all the time. It's like, hey, Mike, people reach out, hey, Mike, who do you want for the Batman?
Can I be honest with you?
Go for
It's
it.
not very PC what I'm about to say.
I don't care. You don't have to be PC around me. I don't get offended. I don't get offended by anything.
Macaulay Culkin at this point is an interesting looking cat. And
Sure, yeah.
I think that a lot of the times when people cast, they're casting based off of chops. And with him, I think they're casting based off of his appearance.
Oh, I feel people cast off chops, appearance more than chops.
Really?
Oh my God, are you kidding me? How many times did you see, like, oh God, like when Shazam was out, they wanted, I don't have a good example right now, but they're nine times out of 10 with these castings, they always like Batman, when the rumors they're casting off people's looks, and I was like, no, I want an actor, I want the chops.
Yeah,
he's gotta have chops.
Yeah,
Joaquin Phoenix, he's got the
Tommy
chops.
Wiseau when people were casting him as the Joker,
because on his look, it ain't the chops.
But it's a very interesting Joker.
Macaulay Culkin. I like how he's kind of re-embraced. Doesn't he do the Home Alone commercials for like Google or something that he had?
And I'm not saying he doesn't have chops. I'm not saying
No, yeah. I think he was a kid watching him in Home Alone and all those movies and Uncle Buck, and you just see like, man, that kid was so great. Then he dealt with all the drama with his family and his money, and
sad.
To see what he went through.
It was really sad.
He's one. If he wanted to come back into acting, like full on embrace it. Like what was the movie he did? It was an independent film. Maybe Thora Birch was in it. It was about like
hopefully Ryan can help us.
Sex and religion and kids in school being virgins. And,
I don't know it.
God, it came up 10, 15 years ago, where he was really good in.
While
but
Ryan
anyway,
has
I think
look
it's
for that. Let's talk about other possible villains that could be in the Batman.
So this is what we're going into. This is getting interesting. We're getting into that talk of people are wanting news. I love this time for a new Batman film. I love this time of year. When we're getting close to production, we might start seeing a suit picture eventually. They're in that, hey, now they're designing and building because they know who their actor is. They're going to start measuring him and doing suits. And
so critics and fans are speculating who's going to be in this. So this was an awesome article that I found on Cinema Blend that said all the Batman villains rumored to show up in Matt Reeves' DC movie. We've talked about most of these, but I just want to get your take quickly.
Please do.
Give me a yes or no if you want them and if you have any strong casting choices, okay?
Are you going to go through a list? I'm going to say yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Penguin.
No.
Catwoman.
No.
Riddler.
Nope.
Wow. Firefly.
Yes.
Any choices for casting?
No. Michael
Two-Face.
Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender is Firefly?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm going gut instinct.
I love it. Two-Face.
Yep. John Hamm.
Mad Hatter.
Yep. There's so many good, quirky looking actors. I don't want to say Steve Buscemi because that's kind of, but I want that awkward, gawky like. Walton Goggins could be Mad Hatter.
Interesting. Okay, so you want Mad
here's the thing.
Hatter, you want Mad Hatter, Two-Face, and Firefly.
Well, I say that because I know those are the 6 that have been rumored. I feel we've seen the Penguin, we've seen Catwoman twice, we've seen the Riddler, and I know maybe not done well. But but then something hit me is like, oh, there's like a lot of villains. I think he's doing what we talked about, where these villains are not necessarily going to be the main stars. They're going to be supporting characters. The Penguin might be 1 or 2 scenes that Batman goes to for information because it's a detective noir story. So I'm on board with that. I don't want Penguin and Catwoman to be the main villains. We've seen that.
Okay. Stepping back for a second, thank you, Ryan. Ryan, let us know that Saved is the movie you're talking about.
Thank you.
Ryan, any thoughts on these villains? Any preference for who we would ultimately see, or at least one of them that you are super anti-seeing?
Yeah, I'd love to see the Riddler. I think the Riddler is a great villain that I think a director could have a lot of fun portraying them on screen in a really creative way. I actually really wish Christopher Nolan used him in one of his films. But I mean, we've seen the Penguin a bunch of times, and after Gotham, we just saw so much of them.
I get Ryan. Thank you for bringing that because again, Penguin and Riddler, it's Gotham. They were the 2 main frontrunners of Gotham.
They were great.
Right. So it's like We're going back to that well again. And for me, and I have to say this, and I'm so, as much as I don't lavish the Spider-Man Homecoming and those films that they're doing, the fact that they're finally doing stuff that we're not getting the Green Goblin again. Thank God.
Yeah.
Like, I love the fact that, like, Batman's Rogues Gallery is the greatest Rogues Gallery in comic book history.
Completely agree.
It's like, there's
That's
the
why Arrow
Man-Bats.
borrowed a lot of them.
Yeah, exactly. There's Man-Bat. There's Clayface. There's... So to see, and I, like the fact that it's Suicide Squad, we're getting Ratcatcher, which is known as a Batman villain at times, but I'm like, that's awesome. Give these... So I'm again trusting faith that Reeves has a plan.
And we're getting Black Mask in
Black Mask. So it's like we're getting
Birds of Prey.
Yeah, so it's
which
like
I always want to call Gotham City Sirens.
I know.
Birds of Prey
I
movie.
love that. I love, we haven't like
Ooh,
Poison Ivy would be again. I would love because we didn't get it done right. Mr. Freeze definitely need to get again.
Quick quiz for you right
Please.
now.
Oh.
What is the?
Oh, here we go. Is this the Inner Geekdom stuff?
No.
Oh.
What is? Because it hasn't come out yet. What is the full name of the Birds of Prey movie?
Birds of Prey: The Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. Thank you.
Is it the Fantabulous Emancipation or?
The Fantabulous.
It is the Fantabulous
Or
Emancipation
of One Harley Quinn. Yes. Did you think you were going to stump me?
No, I don't.
I'm a former Inner
I still
Geekdom. I'm the
can't get
former
it.
Inner Geekdom champion of Schmodown.
I don't know
Birds
why
of-
I didn't think it was the.
Birds of Prey and the
And the.
I missed Anne.
Yeah.
That's a schmodown
And
off.
the. Yeah, you're off.
They would have
And
given
the-
it to me. They would have given it. I would have challenged that and I
They
would
would
have gotten
not
it.
have given it to
Yes,
you.
because
Get Christian Orloff on the phone.
I would have gotten it. I would have gotten it.
Okay.
Yeah, I challenged that. I would have challenged the hell out of that.
Forward. Michael Bay. I wish that Adam was here to talk about this right now.
Michael Bay?
Our very own Hobo Lobo to discuss this matter, which would be epic. But Michael Bay's Lobo movie reportedly is still in development.
Okay.
Is this something you care in any way, shape, or form about?
No.
Okay.
I don't like it, Lobo to me. Like, there's certain characters. Like, I'm not about the anti-hero, fourth wall breaking. Like, I'm not a Deadpool guy. I love the movie because I went in no expectations. I'm not of those characters that, they're not for me. Just not. But that's not. Hey, not
right.
everything has to be for me in life.
Ryan, is Lobo for you?
Nah.
Yeah.
Okay, we need Adam to
not
come
about
back
it.
and talk to us. Does Michael Bay working on it make you any more excited?
I like Michael Bay. I know a lot of people don't. I do.
Okay, so yes.
I think his filmography is all over the place. But one of my favorite movies is 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi that she did. And it's awesome. So I love Armageddon. I love The Rock. I love Bad Boys.
Let us know in the chat or later on iTunes and YouTube. Are you excited by a potential Michael Bay Lobo film? I would love to hear some positivity in there. But if you're not, just
I'm
let
not
us know
giving
that too.
negativity. I'm just giving neutrality.
That wasn't a shot at you. I said the same thing you did.
Shots? We taking shots?
What kind?
You're like you're a
Whiskey or tequila?
you're a
I can go either way. Depends the kind of night.
you're an Irish car bomb girl, aren't you?
I mean,
What's
I'm
the
from
shot?
Boston,
What's the
so-
shot with the Red Bull and the?
Oh, Jaeger bomb.
Yeah, it's you.
No, Irish car bomb's more me.
Those ones?
What?
You heard me.
I didn't. What is that? I heard you, but I don't know what that is.
Oh, you don't know what it is either. I just heard their shots with the cream on the top.
Oh, you guys.
You took some shots at Comic-Con last year. We were at that bar.
Yeah, I always take shots. I'm a shot taker. I love a good shot. Hattie Jenkins, also a shot taker. She took her shot on Wonder Woman, but give it to me, Ryan. Thank you.
Oh, we're gonna rim shots now.
Rim shot. It's better than a whiskey shot for Mike.
No.
Oh, okay.
This one
No.
sucks.
Yeah, I knew you didn't like it, so that's why I said that. Patty Jenkins revealed why she brought Chris Pine back for Wonder Woman.
Tell me, I did not see this story. I saw it in our rundown, but I did not hear it. So lay it on me, Rox.
So here's what she says. She says, I've had it happen with several actors where you really get up to speed and you know that person, so you can see this incredible skill that they're of. So you can spin them this way, and that's fun. You can spin them that way. Chris and I definitely have that. I also think that he has a bunch of dimensions of him that I haven't quite seen him get to explore. Now at this point, I'm feeling like I just want to keep working with so many of the same actors because it is so fun. So she's brought him back because she likes to work with him.
She did the TV show on Netflix with him. I Am the Night, or that he's got rave reviews about. They did that together. So she loves him.
Did you see any of that show?
I did not.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think that to me is this to me. And again, we talk about filmmakers earning goodwill. She's earned every ounce, like, because I'm like Chris Pine, the death of him in Wonder Woman was the glue of that movie.
It was perfect.
So to bring him back and
She
not do a
must know what she's
disservice, she
doing.
must know what she's doing. And I'm going to trust Faith. I'm just going to go in and say, wow me again, and hopefully she will.
And I actually agree with her that he is multifaceted.
Oh man,
and layered.
I was watching the recent Star Treks again, and even in those, he's so damn good.
He's great.
He is everything he's in. God, did you ever see Smoking Aces?
No.
Oh, he's like a skinhead, racist, like skinny, like he's awesome. It's before he kind of came out, and it was like
He's a skinhead racist. He's awesome.
Because I remember this great arc with him. He was like talking about
He's an awesome actor.
talking about doing Kirk, and this is a man who is a character actor in a leading man body. He is a character actor, but he will always forever be the leading man now. But then you get a movie like Hell or High Water or Smoking Aces, where you just see how damn good he is. And I think people they mistake him. They call him a pretty boy, and he's kind of fallen into that. He needs filmmakers like Patty Jenkins that will do these TV shows for him, because right now they've tried to do Jack Ryan with him. They want him as the leading man, and I think he loves these character roles.
Okay.
I would try to watch everything he's in. I have not watched that TV show. I Am the Night, I think it's called.
Yeah, I think
It's a detective series, but he's just
sounds
a
right.
phenomenal
Something
actor.
like
I love watching good actors.
Speaking of good actors, see again, Queen of the Segs.
I'm the king of the seg because I gave it to you. I give you the seg.
No, I'm taking the seg.
You're taking it
I take the seg.
because I give it to you.
You segue on out of here.
Oh, God almighty.
You segue down the street and get me some Sour Patch Kids because I'm in the mood for them. Harley
I got a
Quinn.
sour stomach. I had too many gummy bears on the way here.
Really? Do you have any extras? I want
I ate
some.
them all.
Oh my god!
I have no
what kind of
self-control.
friend are you?
Terrible friend.
Terrible. Where are my chocolate balls? Only at Christmas
Christmas.
time.
Come
I
on
know. They're the best that there are, though.
I know.
I still have
So
that
you make sure
Pyrex.
you look forward to them.
Yeah.
You do have my Pyrex, don't you?
Yeah, I do have your Pyrex.
See, Shannon, she has your
I
Pyrex.
use it all the time.
She has your Pyrex, Shannon.
I do use it all the time. That's the great Tupperware that Mike let me.
She listens.
When he baked. Hi, Shannon.
Every single week.
She's the best. I already agreed with her this
I was
week
like,
about
wow.
you being a Florida man. All right, moving on, though. We're talking about Birds of Prey because Margot Robbie was talking about her costume this week. I knew you were going to have thoughts on this because you had thoughts initially when her costume came out. And you have thoughts on everything.
Why am I not allowed to have thoughts?
Who said they weren't allowed to have thoughts? What part of me just said that? You're ridiculous. Here was her quote. She says, when talking about the aesthetics, she says, that's what happens when you have a female producer, director, writer, and then goes on to say that, yeah, it's definitely less male-gazy, as in her costume is less male-gazy. How does that make you feel?
No, I do. I understand what she's saying. I get it. I don't know. Roxy, it's a time where I'm a guy. And my
I'm sorry.
opinions
That
are,
was actually Erin Benosh, who is the film's costume designer. Who said
she
that
said
quote.
it.
Yeah,
Not Margot Robbie.
Sorry,
That's interesting.
That was
Because not even from what you was just saying. When I read that article, I thought Robbie said that.
Less male gazy. The first part was from.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first part that says that's what happens when you have a female producer, director, writer is from Erin, the costume designer, who's saying that it's not as much male fantasy. And then Margot Robbie added, it's definitely less male gazy.
Okay. And this
clear.
kind of
Sorry
this
about
could
that, guys.
open up a Pandora's box of discussions, and we might have a little time to go into this. I'm a guy, and for me I don't have an opinion on it. It's it's a touchy subject, but doesn't make my opinion any less valid. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I see a lot of this talk lately in comic books, and they dealt with it a lot between Justice League and BVS, and they were talking about Wonder Woman with the Amazons and the way that Zack Snyder did this and that, and you see that. The women that were in the revealing costumes were like, no, we love this. We love that Zack Snyder let us show our bodies. And then there's the whole Captain Marvel where, the Russo brothers put makeup on her. And then you find out that, no, Brie Larson wanted that. She wanted the makeup and the hair. And it wasn't until they went back and then did Captain Marvel, her movie, that those filmmakers changed it. So the actress was okay with it. Watching Suicide Squad, there were those scenes where she's bending over, getting the purse out of the broken wall, or she's getting dressed, and all the men stop and look at her. Did in that movie I go, oh damn, that's a tuchus on her? No, I didn't. When I watch comic movies, no, because I don't look at these. Never once did I think Harley Quinn. You want to know the sexiest part of Harley Quinn to me in that movie? When she's dancing in the club and she does this thing with her hair, at the camera.
Okay.
That was the sexiest part of Harley Quinn for me. She just did something in the way she moved. I was like, that's hot. Other than that, when she bent over or was putting on a little dress like this, I was like, whatever.
I don't necessarily think about it like that, but I just think you have to be true to the character. And Harley Quinn is somebody who wears things like this, is kind of crazy, is kind of trying to show off. That's
now
very
you're
true
saying
to her character.
The skin and all that. Yeah, because she does that in the comics.
Putting on fishnets or having that little T-shirt or any of the makeup, or that's very Harley Quinn.
And I can't speak to this because I don't know for sure, but a lot of the times people go, well, those are men writing and drawing those comics. But on the other hand, I think there's women.
It is a problem with some characters where it doesn't feel like their character would make that choice. You know, if you saw Wonder Woman wearing Harley Quinn's outfit, you would say, "What?
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense." But for Harley Quinn specifically, it wouldn't bother me if she was less male gazy, but it didn't bother me the way it was because it makes sense.
But there was this big backlash about like, oh, Patty Jenkins is now fully clothing her in this armor, this and that, and that's the way it should have been done, like Zack Snyder did with the mini skirt. And it's just like, no, they're paying an homage to the character that Alex Ross with the armor and the eagle armor that he did. It's like Patty Jenkins still had Wonder Woman in the same outfit.
Yeah,
she still had. They didn't talk about when she was in her Amazon training outfit, where it was just a mini skirt and a top. They didn't talk about that, but because it fit the story. You know, it's like these women who are proud of their bodies. I mean, look at Instagram. We talk about women every day. And we've talked about this, and my girlfriend and I get into this, where these women that are posting Instagram videos of them in the gym with their Bang energy drink to sell the energy drink, but then they don't want men commenting on their body. And it's just like, well, you're being an influencer in your gym in an underwear. Where's, you know what I'm saying? This is a conversation I know I'm branching out, guys, and I know I am. It just seems like there's, on the one hand, there are women that love their bodies and want to show it off, but then if you comment on it like the male gazy look.
But Mike, I think that there's a difference between saying, wow, you look great, like congrats on all your hard work, and damn, I want to put my penis all over you, which is like, you know what I mean?
I guess, and like
so
to say that
you're commenting.
Fair enough.
To compliment somebody's work ethic or how they look based off of what they're trying to show, like I'm showing this energy drink, I go to the gym, I want you to say, if I did something like that, I would want people to say, wow, you're looking amazing, keep up the great work, or wow, whatever, instead of like, oh yeah, why don't you turn over and bend over for me, baby? Like, look at some of the comments on my Instagram.
See, now I see that because I see you in jeans. I'm like, you're looking great, Rox. But I don't need. But you're right, and that's why I preface this by saying I'm a man. I don't experience, because my girlfriend and I were walking down our dogs the other day, and this guy does this, as he drove by, and I'm like, what was that? She's like, that was the guy doing a cat call to me, and I was like, oh my god, that's what it is.
Walking out of the studio with one of our producers the other day, somebody shouted, and he goes, the guy just goes, what just happened? And I was like, I didn't even flinch, because that's what life is.
And, and I guess for guys like myself, like I hear these stories, I'm like, I would, and this is not to pat myself in the back. I don't think to say something like that. I was like, yeah, bend over, let me see that. Like,
you won't even talk to Sandberg when you see him, so.
I know, yeah, he's a dude, a bearded dude. I want to drive by my car like, Shazam was great. I don't do that, but it's like, okay, I'm sorry, I digressed.
Let's move
That's a top
forward.
For another day. I'm sorry, guys.
I appreciate it.
The male gazy. Now that you may say this, male gazy, there probably is a contingency of men that's like, I can't find Harley Quinn bending over my face.
Yeah.
I think a majority of the men are just like, it's the character. We move on.
Those men are not the men that is why there's a problem.
But on the other hand, I'm a big fan of the movie 300. And that says, I don't know.
All right, John Cena.
Okay.
Talking about the Suicide Squad casting.
Oh, did he? He addressed it?
This is what he had to say.
All right.
He said, you have to get everything buttoned up before you can make it official. I don't want to say anything. I will just say that if that opportunity presents itself, then I will be very grateful to take it.
So he's basically saying the ink is not dry on the contract.
Yes.
Yeah. I think he's in it.
What he's saying.
I think he's in it.
He's saying, I am in this, but I cannot say that out loud. No, I'm summarizing.
Oh, I thought he was really saying this. I was like...
No, my opinion of what he's saying is,
gotcha.
I am in this, but I cannot say that out loud. Therefore, I'd be so happy to be in this.
It's kind of like your buddy David Damascenian. Did I say that right? Damascenian. Who's basically saying, everyone... It seems like everyone in this script is like, Jack Courtney... You've talked to the whole Suicide Squad already, pretty much. He was like, yeah, mate, I'm in it, but I can't say it. I got the script. No, not doing it.
Yeah.
Why did he sound like Korg to me?
I don't know.
Korg?
That was like one of the worst accents I've heard
I was trying to do Korg.
so far.
Hey, Thor, this goes on again. He's calling me a dickhead. That's my favorite line. My favorite line in that movie.
Ryan, how do you do? Was that decent? Did it sound okay coming from you?
That's Korg. He's like, oh, piss off, Ghost. I didn't have enough flies.
Anyways.
All right.
Anyways.
Piss off, Ghost.
I can't get over you right now. Brendan Fraser, throwback. We were talking about him a couple weeks ago on the show, talking about him with the Superman cape and
He had the audition
his
for
audition.
was it J.J. Abrams at the time, Flyby or whatever. There's the script.
Exact Flyboy.
Yeah. Flyboy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You fly by, I fly boy. And this is what he said. Quote, "You feel kind of invincible, like I can fly. The cape actually makes you think you have the power of flight, even though you know you don't." That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Matt Bomer was up at the time for it. Matt Bomer, him.
Matt Bomer's been up for everything.
Yeah.
Everything. 'Cause wasn't his name being circulated around for Shazam also at
I
some
wouldn't doubt
point?
it. I wouldn't doubt it. Handsome man. I did a event for, I think it's Billions, the TV show with Kelsey Grammer, and he came up and they were all decked out in suits, and I was like, that is a handsome man. Yeah, he was.
With Kelsey Grammer. That's not Billions.
Tycoon, not Tycoon.
Are you talking about an actor right now, or
The TV shows, the Kelsey Grammer, him. It was a period piece
Will you look
about.
for us, Ryan?
I'm
Thank you.
sorry, guys, not
Putting
Billions.
Ryan to work today. Billions is
Tycoon. Last summer it came out right after Comic-Con. It was a big.
Maybe that's it. Possibly Chelsea Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer.
Or Kelsey Grammer, maybe on IMDb. All right, Shazam.
Yep,
Did you see this about the Xbox thing?
I did not.
All right, so your BFF, the person that you said hi to, David F. Sandberg.
I didn't say I know. He's not my BFF. I'm a stalker, basically. That's what it is.
That's what I'm trying to say. He got a little surprise from Microsoft earlier
Aw.
this week. He did an unboxing that was captured on his Instagram at Pony Smasher. If you're not already following him, I know he's one of Jonny LoQuasto's favorite people to follow. He always was obsessed with following Pony Smasher.
Yes.
And he opened up this mystery package and it was a completely custom Xbox One featuring Shazam's iconic red texture suit.
That's awesome.
And a gold lightning bolt smack dab in the middle.
That's awesome.
And he was pretty stoked on it. He had a big old reaction from it. So go check that out on his IG. I love things like that. When he just loves his movie and his product so much that and somebody sends it to him, he's like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah, I'm a little,
What?
Nothing. I just hear like the talk about Shazam now, the post movie, it's like, it underperformed. It underperformed. It's like, get the hell out of here. It made $400 million and it didn't open in China, which I didn't know. It didn't open in China.
I think people are saying it performed less well than they thought it would.
But I think that's just
Which is
because
also the word
I think the
worse.
problem is they're relating it to being a superhero film in these massive franchises. It made triple its budget back, and they greenlit a sequel within a week. It's a
It definitely
massive
succeeded.
success,
It
and for
succeeded.
DC, it was a critical and fan success. So I'm like, I want us to get out of this, and I can't change it. I want us to get out of this thing that every superhero film that comes out has to make $1 billion. Joker's not going to make $1 billion.
No.
Joker's going to make about $300 or $400 million, if that.
But it is a lower budget.
But it's $30 million. It's going to be a massive hit.
I want to talk to you about something that I know is going to piss you off again.
Last Tycoon. Thank you.
The Last Tycoon. This is something that's going to piss you off again.
Here we go.
Sorry.
That's my saying. All my friends like, here we go.
Here we go.
They say what I do when I get pissed off.
thought-
Here we go.
I thought, what's your new nickname? Mr. Segs?
Mr. Segs.
Yeah, King of the Seg?
That's not what they call
Here
me.
we go, King of the Seg.
No, my friend's like,
King of the
here we
Seg.
go. With the arms up, they say I get my arms up in the air. I'm like, here we go.
Let me tell you that your arm should just stay up for this one because there was an article from We Got This Covered that was titled, James Gunn will reportedly help DC rebuild their cinematic universe. And then it goes through how in help.
Why am I having enough of a problem with this? I like Gunn.
Not because of that, but because they're saying this is like somebody coming in. They're saying it's a mess. He's got to come in. He's got to save the universe. No, you're okay?
I don't think it was a mess. I don't think, but knowing, I think it's poor reporting. They're trying to do whatever. They're not doing their due diligence. Mm-hmm. Because we talk about this, there is no Feige over there. There is no, and he was going to be
But
once
can
the Russo.
Gunn be our guy?
But
when
once the Russo brothers stepped away from, they knew they were stepping away. Gunn, before he got fired, was going to be the shepherd of Phase 4.
I just don't know if Gunn can be our. I'm okay with
I
him
don't know.
being in DC and Marvel at the same time, but I don't know if he can be our guy.
I don't know if he can because he's going to go back and do
Right,
Guardians
and
3.
he is, so I don't know
Yeah,
about that.
I think he probably went in and go, hey man, you were going to do this for Marvel. What's your ideas for DC? This is our slate. This is what we have. What do you think?
And there's still the two separate universes going on for DC, so it's just him at the helm of one of them, kind of. We'll see.
I'm not against that. I like the guy. I don't.
Well, before we get out of here, Mikey,
What's that?
you know what we got to do?
I watched some TV this week.
You did? Did you or not?
See, that was my segue. King of Segs.
But did you actually, or is it a lie?
Doesn't matter. I set you
No,
up.
it does matter.
It doesn't matter.
You can't just lie. You can't just make things
I'm an
up.
actor. I lie for a living.
But
That's what it
but
is.
you're a friend. You don't lie as a friend, do you? Because right
Never.
now we're friendshipping. Yeah.
Better performing.
More Lobo news.
Hobo Lobo.
But this one's not Hobo Lobo. This one is Krypton Lobo.
Okay.
Apparently there is going to be a Lobo show coming to Sci-Fi. It's going to be a spin-off of
so
the
they must have
Krypton
loved
show.
him on that show.
Yeah, I will say this, and I'm really sorry. Krypton is the one DC live action show that I do not watch currently.
There's
I watched the first 6
so
episodes.
much.
It was fine, but it was not moving me, and so I do not watch this. So I don't know Lobo on the show as well.
Am I not the biggest DC fan if I don't watch these shows? And it's not.
We're in different sectors. You know what I mean? Like
I have so much.
If somebody doesn't read the comics or they don't love the movies,
I guess that's
there's all different things. You can be a huge fandom is about what you want it to be. You can't just tell somebody. I can't look at you and say you're not a DC fan because you don't watch the shows. That'd be
I get that, but I feel like I'm putting myself out there as this, and I should. Like, I'm a comic guy more so than I guess the films, and I'm always reading the comics. I'm so deep in the comics, and I love them. But the TV, and it's a time thing. Like, comics I can read and blow through one in 10 minutes if I wanted to, if I got a little time before I got to go to work or something. But to watch TV, and I'm deep in studying right now.
Trust me,
it's
TV
tough.
takes up 40 hours of my week. I know better than anybody.
You do. You
and
do.
not just full episodes,
No wonder
but
you're always on your bed.
also trailers. We got a trailer for Pennyworth this week. Talk about live action shows that I'm unsure if I'm watching. This trailer actually looked pretty good, but I'm not sold on this show.
It's doing something completely different than I thought it was going to be for Pennyworth. I thought they were going to go into the military stuff. And this is kind of like James Bond Jr.
Are you going to watch?
I'll tune in first episode.
Want to watch the pilot together?
Sure.
When is the show coming out, Ryan? Do you have any idea?
September,
It's gotta be coming
August.
soon-ish, because. But while Ryan's checking on
Yeah.
that, let's move forward to Swamp Thing.
I don't know. Yeah, go ahead. We talked about this. They're like,
because of the
it wasn't the tax cut, but we're not going to tell you what it was about.
It's about the Warner Brothers app, right?
I don't know.
It's gotta be.
Because, okay, let me say this. If it was about the Warner Brothers app, they wouldn't have done it before the series finished.
But they're saying they didn't want fans to be disappointed.
No,
and
I'm sorry.
it.
We talked about this a little bit on Collider Heroes when I joined them with Dark Phoenix and why it's doing so bad. And it's actually not a bad movie. It's fine.
I thought so too. I thought
it's
it was
fine.
I liked it.
It could have been doing much better than it is. But because people are like, oh, I know this film's done. I know they're not going to ever see these characters again. Why am I going to go see this? So Swamp Thing. How many people? I don't know a lot of people are going to finish the series because they know it's not coming back.
So I watched the 3rd episode.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Like, we're going to get Blue Devil. We're going to get all these characters.
Hashtag save Swamp Thing, because this show is excellent. I love the first 3 episodes, and I think that this show could have legs on the Warner Brothers app, on the DC app if it continues.
Perfect.
Being picked up by HBO, as I've heard rumors also. Wherever it is, this show is great, and I want it to have the space to
Perfect
succeed.
example. Look what happened with the last couple series of Netflix, Marvel. When they knew those were being canceled, the numbers dropped.
Drastically.
Like, no one's sitting there going, Jessica Jones, I can't wait to watch it all, because it's out.
Today.
And no one's talking about it because they know it's done.
I know.
WB, the tax credit, I think, is a... They talk about it. First it was like, oh, it wasn't about the tax credit. Then there was a snafu in the numbers this. And then people are saying it was creative behind the scenes. If it was a creative decision that something wasn't happening, they would have let it all air.
Do you think this has to do with why they cut the episodes? From 13 to 10?
That's a tax credit thing to me. That is hey, we don't have any more money.
Okay, so you think
I
this
don't know.
is different?
It's a thing
hard
that
to
we'll never
say.
know. I think the biggest thing, and talk about the whole DC universe, and there's talk now going that they're rethinking it. For me, the biggest thing is WB is going to do an app. And WB is a massive library, film, TV, everything. That's where Friends is going to be. When people talk about Netflix shelling out $100 million to get it renewed, that's going to be on WB's app. I think they're really like, okay, we want this to be part of it. You've already got X amount of people buying it for a year. We want to launch this now already. Like, why they launched without just being part of WB, I don't know
either.
That was the problem.
Let me make this plea to the people, though, because here's what I will tell you guys. Hashtag Save Lucifer actually worked.
It did.
We went from being a show that was canceled on Fox to getting picked up by Netflix, and it got 2 additional seasons.
Did Netflix pay for it? So Netflix paid for it.
Netflix picked it up, paid for it, and brought it back for a 4th and now a 5th and final
That's
season.
fantastic.
And we needed that as fans because, especially after that 3rd season, we didn't know what was going to happen. Having that 2 seasons really did the show justice. Hashtag Save Constantine. Although the show did not get picked up, the character was so popular that Constantine actually was able to to move over to the CWDC universe, which would make no sense in
that's
any other
different
world, but we
network.
did that as fans. It's different network. Such a strange
That's
move,
huge.
but they did it anyway, coming over from Sci-Fi, moving to CW. So if we were able to do it with Lucifer and partially able to do it with Constantine, I really believe we can hashtag
I think the
save
problem with Swamp Thing,
do it for Adam Gertler, if for no other reason.
the problem is it's a paid app that they're not getting the numbers. It's not like I get that.
But they didn't have the chance to.
I know.
And
Rox,
so if this was out, if we're not there anymore, this show is excellent. And if you're not watching, you should be. And if you heard that it was canceled so you didn't watch, I'm telling you, it's still worth a watch. This show is really good.
if the app is worth it because of everything you get, but I do believe because we're getting to this point now, everyone cut cable, but now every single studio is going to have their own streaming network, and we're going to go back to the same price it was as cable. You know, Warner Brothers, or picture this if Disney did a Marvel app and then they announced their Disney Plus.
No, I completely
That's
agree.
the problem. So we got to stick it out. Hopefully, have faith in them
It's
that
weird.
they will lump it in. I'm most likely they're going to say, "Hey guys, if you bought the DC app, WE's app, we're going to give you half off when you join."
It's weird. And excuse me, Constantine was on NBC, I believe.
You said NBC.
I think I said Sci-Fi, but I was
You
thinking.
said NBC.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, I said NBC to CW.
I don't know
got
if
your
I
back.
said that. I feel
You
like I
did.
said, well,
Take
whatever.
my advice.
All right. Well, you guys let me know.
Pennyworth is the 29th.
Pennyworth
Thank
is
you,
dropping
Ryan.
the 29th, so we'll at least be watching the pilot. But until
Comic-Con, they might probably show it at Comic-Con. If we're there, we'll check it out.
Maybe we'll check it out there. All right. Well, until then, though, Mikey Christmas. Where can everybody
Yes,
keep up with you?
at Mike Kalinowski. That's where I am.
Okay.
Twitter, Instagram,
Great.
Schmodown, wherever you are. That's where I am.
And you guys can find me everywhere at Roxy Striar. Also, don't forget at Adam Gertler and at Jay Quasto if you want to see a very handsome man in handsome
So
suits.
dapper.
Ryan, where can everybody find you?
Just find me at Ryan Nilsson on Twitter and Instagram.
Send him some love, guys. He absolutely deserves it. We will see you guys next year. Next week.
year?
Next week here. Did I say next here?
You said next year.
We'll see them next year also, probably.
Sure.
Next week, same time, same place. And next year.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.